Hey hoes, welcome to the last episode of The Chaotic Creative. And I'm saying last episode simply because I'm rebranding. As you can see, the title of this episode is D's Astro and Vlog, and after this, that's what we'll be transitioning into. I hope y'all are doing well today. I hope everybody is healthy, living, happy, and manifesting the reality that they desire. Today we'll be talking about our transpersonal planets. Sorry it took so long for this video. Actually, this is my second time recording this video. I actually did it a day before my birthday, and that was 2 months ago. I just never got down to edit it and whatever, and then when I finally did get the energy to get up and edit, everything was a shit show. So here we are re-recording. These are our slowest moving planets, ranging anywhere from 84 years to 248 years. They are the slowest moving and the slowest to orbit around the sun. According to Dark Pixie astrology, people born in the same time period, i.e. boomers, Gen X, millennials, zillennials, alpha, all that good shit, share universal experience through music, politics, current events, social change, and lifetime trends. The power of the people, imagination, and the power of destruction are the themes of play when speaking of Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. To be so far away, yet to be so controversial. So you already know how it go. Alright, so starting out, we got Uranus, our planet of sudden change, originality, futuristic things, representing electricity, genius, revolutionaries, the outward thinker, invention, space, breaking news, strange, the unusual, science, motherfuckers, righteously. So Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, let's get that out the way. These are not traditional planets. These were all modernized, meaning that they were recently discovered. So Uranus was discovered in 1781 by telescope and was initially thought to be a comet by Sir William Herschel, a British astronomer. So, after a year of observation, he concluded that Uranus was a planet. Before settling on the name Uranus, however you want to spell it or call it, he named it the Georgium Sigis, meaning the Star of George, and that was in honor of King George III. And a little time after that, he renamed it Herschel after himself, and then finally came down to a decision to name it Uranus. So, in modern astrology, Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius. So, co-ruler to Aquarius with Saturn in the 11th house. In Aquarius, it manifests as our need for freedom, flip mode, and if you ask me, hit the switch. Speaking of flip mode, excuse me, I forgot to put down in my notes. I wouldn't be shocked, but I want to go check first if Busta Rhymes has like heavy Aquarian energy, Uranus energy going on in his birth chart, because he was a major trendsetter. That's all Aquarius. That's all Uranus. They are trendsetters, along with their opposite Leo. Uranus does things for the collective, whereas Sun or Leo does things for more so self and for the enjoyment of it. There's that. And then you got Uranus and Aquarius that are oddball, the people that are out. They're not all community minded either. That's something that we got to get out of the way. I'm still learning on traditional astrology and things of that nature. In Yoruba lore, Uranus is represented by Shango, the Orisha of thunder and fire. Known for his fearsome rule, acts of rebellion, he tended to be out of touch with his people. After his ascension into godhood, he became more respected by the people. In Greek mythology, it's represented as the primordial, aka first existing, god Uranus, and that is known as the god of the sky, like the literal heavens and the sky. And he would produce children that were titans, cyclops, and other nymphs and stuff like that with Mother Gaia, aka Earth. All of them created, he hated all of them. It was wild. He proceeded to hide them in the belly of the earth. Righteously eat them. Righteously eat them. Now, where does generation and Uranus come into play here? Well, Gaia and her son Kronos, who is more widely known as Hercules, would have to plan to overthrow him. So that right there, that is an exchange of power, futuristic planning, rebellion, and sudden attacks. And little did he know, he would prophesy the fall of the Titans, specifically his father, stating that he would suffer a fate of his son killing him. That's the whole reason that he was hiding him in the belly to begin with. So slicing and dicing, you know how that happened. That's how Venus is here. That is how the other planets are here. And Zeus, Neptune, we'll get to that, and Hades, we'll get to him as well, would be the main three that were in battle to overthrow their father. Uranus takes 84 years and 7 days to travel the entire zodiac. So depending on how long you live, you may or may not experience a Uranus return. Something else that is responsible for is the midlife crisis. You know, like 40-ish, when people want to do wild shit, you're halfway through that Uranus return. It's also responsible for, I already said that. Generationally speaking, these chances tend to come with that shake the room aspect. So let's look at an example. On July 14, 1789, Uranus was in the sign of Leo and transiting the ninth house of a particular government. Just looking from the basis, Uranus is community. Actually, Aquarius is community. But for the sake of the video, we're going to tie them two together. Progression, sudden changes, and rebellion. Leo is known as royalty, pride, self-centered, top of the fucking food chain. Ninth house represents our government, law, and morality. With these aspects, and let's put it in a little place called France. You get the French Revolution. Or you just get a bunch of people that are tired and they want to see something different, and they're tired of being ran over. Look, they're saying the American government needs to experience a revolution. And we did. It was from the British, but hell, at this point, it's like we need to revolt against them. Them just my 2 cents. Okay, so Uranus is exalted in Scorpio and is in detriment in Leo. So next up, we got Miss Dream Girl, Neptune. And judging by her nickname, you know that's a pretty good gist of it. Neptune represents our dream world, otherworldly experiences, illusions, deceit, drugs, fame, spirituality. Waters our subconscious, fraud, addiction, hospitals, prisons, and medicine. A whole lot of stuff, but you get the gist. Neptune was discovered in 1846, brought forth alternative ways of healing with the introduction of hypnosis. Since this was considered a modern planet, Pisces is, run it back. Neptune is also a modern planet because it's fairly new, so it co-rules the sign of Pisces with Jupiter and the 12th house. In Pisces, it manifests as duality, reflection, mystical, clairvoyance, all the clairs actually, Hollywood, romance. And in the 12th house, it represents our self-undoing, secret enemies, asylums, other karmic houses, secrets, and endings. I put that twice. I don't know why. Maybe it needs to go on there twice. I actually wrote this down, all of this down during Mercury retrograde. So forgive me. In Yoruba lore, Neptune is represented as the Orisha Olokun, known as the guardian of the deep sea. She is known to be androgynous, can take any form. Keep that in mind with Neptune and Pisces. Think water, think reflection, think illusion. Ruling over the ocean floor, Olokun was bound by chains, representing how we may hold ourselves back by habits and things that aren't good for us. Perhaps thoughts that we bury that end up influencing our actions. Olokun is said to be the owner of mysteries. In Greek mythology, Neptune is represented by Poseidon, the god of the seas, earthquakes, and horses. Known for his adaptability and ability to change forms, Poseidon shows us how Neptune can be deceitful, as he sometimes used these powers to seduce and assault women and otherworldly creatures. Man, the Greeks was wild, dog. Okay. Noted as one of the most temperamental gods on Olympic, his rage impact would cause natural disaster on land or sea. Poseidon shows us what can happen when we're in the oceans of emotions and we don't figure out how to tie it down. Neptune takes 165 years to travel the zodiac wheel, spending 13.75 years in each sign. You're not going to see that return. You likely won't. You know, back in the day they probably saw it. So whenever and whatever Neptune transits, expect some fuzziness, either from confusion and some type of consciousness. Now, while it may seem like Neptune is a negative planet, it also brings some positive results. Generationally speaking, Neptune is responsible for the greatest movements of all time. So a little backtrack into Uranus and Aquarius. We saw a lot of rebranding with music and things during like 1970s. Things weren't black and white anymore. There was color TV, new subgenres of music like EDM, neo soul. We started seeing CDs, DVDs. We saw an emergence of crossover music, social media, and online dating and filters. Think about Snapchat and stuff. If Neptune is the glamour girl, Aquarius is his manager. Neptune is exalted in the sign of Leo and in detriment in Capricorn. Shout out to us Nep and Capricorn people, child, because I actually think it's a good and bad thing. So in a way, it can be hard to like access intuition, but you're able to see through the bullshit. Very simple. So it's like Uranus and Neptune Saturn and Neptune are at play together. So somehow you got to cut through it. I fuck with it. I got that placement. Most people in your generation are going to have the same Neptune and Uranus and Pluto things because, again, generation. Lastly, and for sure not least, we got big Pluto, not the little one. And I say that because although Pluto is classified as a dwarf planet, we're currently in a Pluto retrograde, but just the things around it are so significant and powerful. And that's another thing with Pluto, power. It packs a punch. Pluto represents death, rebirth, both physical, that can be spiritual as well, destruction, underworld things that go unnoticed, elimination, obsession, crisis, secrets, anarchy, power struggles, passion, manipulation, expose, psychology. And from what I'm starting to learn from another astrologer, and he be up on his shit. Y'all gotta check him out. His name is the Aquarian angle. Pluto can represent marriage, and I need to link that video somewhere. I might just have to share it somewhere, but it makes sense. Okay, so again, Pluto, not a traditional planet. It's a modern planet. It rules over Scorpio modernly. It was discovered in 1930 by Percival Lowell, originally called Planet X. Lowell noticed disturbances outside the orbit of Uranus and beyond Neptune. There's still research being done about it, so Pluto is limited. And I know a lot of traditional astrologers aren't using these three because we don't have enough information on it, but it's an evolution, just like science. If astrology is a science, why can't we use stuff? But that's just my personal opinion. Whatever. In 2001, the planet was demoted to a mere asteroid, declassified, but it was reinstated and reclassified as a dwarf planet by the International astronomical union, the IAU. Shoot, almost sound like Caillou. Pluto is classified as the ruler of Scorpio in the 8th house. In Scorpio, it manifests as the sting, I desire, reproductive organs, intensity, investigation, sex, psychology. In the 8th house, it manifests as accession, sexual matters, shared debt, taxes, your ancestors, legacy, the supernatural, dominance, and joint finances. In Yoruba lore, Pluto is represented by the Orisha Oya. Now, Miss Oya is a bad bee. No disrespect, sis. The baddest. She is said to have the complete force of nature at her grasp, uprooting trees, homes, and anything in her path. Destruction was sure to follow. They knew which, or they almost knew which Orisha was causing havoc or whatever, but they definitely knew every time Oya was shaking up some shit because it was unmistakably destructive and you couldn't come back from it. So the winds of change, that's righteously what she is. She's also responsible for carrying the spirits of the newly departed to the spirit realm. So that's transformation, that's death right there, elevation, and a darker thing. Now, Greek mythology is represented by the god of the underworld, Hades, my nigga Hades. So he presides over funeral rites, lost souls, and the unseen wealth. Along with his brother Neptune and Jupiter, they were swallowed by their father Uranus after the defeat of their father and the Titans. Hades and his brothers were propelled to godhood and chose their areas of rulership by drawing fates, with him receiving the underworld. Now, it is said in some Greek mythology that Hades got played out of his straw, and he didn't want to do the underworld. And he was feared amongst all gods except for like Zeus and Neptune, but very feared among Olympus. He lives up to his name as the ruler of death and all things dark, like down to his marriage to Persephone. He plotted with Zeus. Now keep in mind, Persephone is the daughter of Zeus and his sister Athena. Not Athena. Oh, I'm gonna have to go back because I didn't write that down. Demeter. I got it. But like I said, the Olympians were wild. They plotted for him. So he kidnapped, sexually assaulted, and trapped the goddess Persephone. There's a whole nother beast between now him, Zeus, and her mother. That's a whole nother story, but that's power control, that's dark matter, unfortunately, control, deceit. There's Neptune, and it was wild. They were wild. Like, and the deal was, that's another thing with other people's monies, other people's resources, and joint things like that. Persephone could have been freed had she not eaten pomegranate seeds from the underworld. So therefore, again, marriage, that solidified their union. She could only leave the underworld for 6 months out of the year to go up above ground with her mother. That's a whole nother story, though. We're gonna get into that too. Pluto takes 248 to 250 years to travel the entire wheel, so we won't know how all that goes for another couple of millenniums. And since it's only been 94 years since its discovery, there's still technically only been real-time documentation between its transit in Cancer and now. That's like 1912-ish. That's the most documentation that they can pull up on it. Spending 12 to 30 years in a sign. Generationally speaking and historically speaking, Pluto been on its top dog shit. When Pluto was in Leo, there was a rise of the popularization of celebrities and media. And today, with it being in the opposing sign of Aquarius, over 70 years later, there's a noticeable change. I don't know if y'all are seeing it. Y'all gotta be seeing. Hollywood is crashing down. Pluto is destruction. Pluto is wipe this shit and making it over. Secrets are Pluto. Expose is Pluto. You got the fall of Diddy. Every other celebrity, people are either getting married or divorced at higher rates. Currently, we're in the Pluto retrograde, so we're actually seeing more split ups. There's people regurgitating everything. Aquarius is a lot, and Aquarius rules internet. So yeah, you can see a noticeable downfall of Hollywood and people that are in high places. Pluto comes to knock shit down a few notches. Where we at? Or how in Scorpio is unearthed secrets about our government, sexual movements regarding freedom to love. Ace, where it was in Sagittarius. So very Scorpionic themes, and Pluto spends the least amount of time in its home sign. Now when it switched to Aquarius, we saw themes of government, because remember Sagittarius is ninth house. This is where we saw Bill Clinton be exposed for Monica Lewinsky and other sexual things over there. I did not have relations with that woman. You did, sir. And there's a lot of discourse around the age of Aquarius. All I know is there's been a breaking down in a lot of our former things. Capricorn, because Capricorn is before Aquarius. Capricorn is grandpa. Aquarius would be grandkids. And Pluto's exaltation is still under question, but it's in fall in Taurus and home to Scorpio. So right now, that's all we got on Big Plu right now. Speaking of Big Plu, that is a part of the reason that I've gone to rebrand. I've started to rebrand my channel because I want to go in a different direction, and I'm really feeling the effects part. I know everybody, it's a collective thing. Everybody's feeling this change on a major level, but I felt it was time to go into a different direction name-wise and revise a lot of my plans, because that's where it's to futuristic things, and that's where we are. I keep burping, I'm sorry. Planning for the future, and I'm all right with that. So that has been at the end of our introduction to the planets. Long time coming, different type of content coming. I'm glad that you were here with me today. I love you, God loves you, and I hope you love you more.